For our expedition to the summit of Everest, I was the team leader. I was an experienced climber that has made it to the summit 5 times before, but this was going to be my last climb of Everest, as I promised my wife and kids I was not going to do it anymore. As an experienced climber, I had pride and sponsorship on the line, so my main goal was to make it to the summit and take a picture with a sponsor's logo, and they were going to pay me for that picture. One of the other main goals of my role was to make it as a team to the fourth base. So I had to drive the team to make team decisions and move as one group. We were able to make it to that fourth base camp as a team to make our final push towards the summit. Unfortunately, one of the teammates had an undisclosed medical condition that went untreated, and they were unable to make it to the summit. So I didn't meet that objective to get the entire team to the summit, but the photographer made it, so I was able to get my picture. So one more push up the mountain as a leader.
Hi, my name is Farah Zubaydi. My role in the simulation was a photographer, an award-winning photographer, and a filmmaker. It was a great experience working with a team, although we weren't familiar with each other. However, we were able to collaborate, working together, and focusing on achieving our goal as a team by sharing knowledge and feedback. Based on my role in the simulation, I had personal goals to achieve as well. I had 3 personal goals. However, I had to sacrifice on 2, which was staying in Camp 1 and Camp 2 for another 2 days, because we want to take advantage of the good weather and move forward so we can achieve our goal as a team and reach to the summit, which we did at the end of the simulation. In addition, I got 2 bonus points of the 3, which was the health and the weather bonus points. We did that by working again as a team, communicate on all the challenges of the health and the weather continuously, so we were able to achieve these points as well.
In this climb up Everest, my role was the environmentalist of the team. My main goal in climbing the mountain again, I've done it before, was to help clean up the mountain this time. Not really to reach the top, but to help clean up some of the trash that was left behind. I did have acute mountain sickness, AMS, and I did not want to disclose this to the team for fear of being kicked off. However, this did catch up to me. I started feeling wheezy when breathing, so it required an inhaler. I did in fact get the inhaler at the right time and was able to continue up the mountain even though I had some minor problems. With that, my goals were to avoid rescue along with everyone else, and to stay at Camp 4 for a day to help clean up so that we could clean up the trash and bring it back down. I ended up not staying at Camp 4. I went with the team, so rather than achieve those personal goals, we achieved the team goals in reaching the summit of the mountain. So I did not end up staying at Camp 4 to clean up. However, we achieved the team goal of making it to the summit together.
My name is Tyler Minnis, and as part of the simulation, my role was the physician. The role of the physician is an average climber that does not want to get frostbite and to carry medical supplies for myself and my teammates. All my personal goals were accomplished, and those were to reach the summit, avoid rescue, avoid frostbite, and all climbers stay an extra day at any camp together. I also received 2 of the 3 bonus points for the health challenge and the weather challenge by working with my teammates to determine weather and health calculations. We discussed when one of the teammates would have an at-risk for frostbite or altitude sickness. So that communication helped with my personal goals and the team goals in the end. And then as a team, we understood that each member had personal and team goals, and we communicated, very well to determine the best options to reach the summit and avoid rescue while still trying to reach as many goals, whether that be personal or team goals, as we could.
This is Logan Banaski. In the Everest Simulation for Group 1, I was the marathoner. I had a very good experience with the group. I felt like we communicated really well. My personal goals in the simulation were to reach the top, avoid rescue, and avoid frostbite. Kind of failed on guessing the temperature for the next day on the first go-around. Didn't kind of understand what was going on, but I felt like we all communicated very well and collaborated with one another, and we all tried to seek a team goal, which was to get everyone to the top, which meant that some people had to sacrifice their personal goals. Unfortunately, when we got to the last camp, my character, we overestimated his resolve, and he was not able to make it to the summit. And so I had to get rescued, and I was not able to make it there. So I did not get two of my main goals, but I did avoid frostbite, mostly in part with help from my teammates. We collaborated and communicated to each other based on what the climate was going to be the next day, and we did calculations to where we could get it correct. But I had a great experience. I felt like we all worked well together, and we sacrificed personal goals to try and reach a team goal of reaching everyone to the summit. Unfortunately, I was the only one that didn't reach the summit, but we still had a great time.
As we started our simulator for week 2, we decided as a team that Zoom calls would be the most beneficial for us. It's a very useful communication tool that we were able to have video and audio, but also we were able to get together as a team and have active conversation instead of doing emails or text. It just allowed us to be a little bit more open, a little bit more comfortable in our discussions. Although we did elect for the team lead, which is me, to do the summary of our experiences as a team because we didn't really feel like comfortable getting together physically to do a group presentation. So I'm going to be doing the summary for our team. When we started the brief for the Everest climb, and because we've all been reading Bernstein's Leading Teams, we knew that we needed to design, launch, and set up processes in order to have a successful team. The issue we had was we didn't design this team, we inherited it. So we did focus on the things that we were able to control, and we decided that setting up good decision-making processes were going to help us as we ran through the simulator and climbed Everest. So for each day, we said that we needed to share our personas in experience and information and what was relevant to the next day. So we'd share things like the health statistics, the mental state, frostbite warning, and then we also knew that looking ahead to tomorrow's weather was going to be important to see what they were going to be hiking through that next day. So we set up a process that we knew what we knew. We thought we knew what was going to happen tomorrow, and we made a decision as a team to execute that plan. Now, initially, at the beginning of each day, sharing that information was a little bit clunky because I don't think we knew what was relevant information. But as we progressed through the project and as we got a little more comfortable as a team, I think we were able to share information more readily and come to those decisions quicker. So by the time we got to the part of the simulator where we needed to dose out medication, we had already had that basis for sharing information and making decisions that actually enabled us to do it relatively easily. And on that note, I mean, there was no real competition or conflict within the team or when we were deciding the plan for the next day because of that open communication. We had the health, the weather decisions, the climbing rates, and because everyone knew all of the relevant information and why we had made that decision as a team, we were all very comfortable in supporting that decision and moving forward. And on the couple of events that happened where the decision was the incorrect one, we shared responsibility as a team. There was no, well, we should have done that. Why did you do this? It was team decisions that led to our success and our failures, which was a great experience to be a part of. One of our failures was that we correctly calculated how many bottles of oxygen we all needed. However, we kind of decided that those extra bottles we should divvy out among the extras. We should divvy out the extra bottles among the other team members so that we just had a surplus of oxygen. So we were actually a little bit disappointed that we had figured out the right numbers We took the extras anyway, and that was not a success for our team. One of the other issues we had was there was a preconceived notion on the marathon runner's part that the team leader was going to discount his medical condition, so he hid that. So that went against the open communication of the team, and unfortunately, that meant that we were unable to make it to the summit as a group. Ultimately, we felt like we had this was a good opportunity for us all to get together and work on something before our final project. I think we all enjoyed the simulator and we all enjoyed working as a team. And we think we were able to communicate well, divide up workloads and responsibility. So all in all, we had a great time working together as a team. And we look forward to doing it more in the future.